All right, are we live now? We're going live, right? Perfect. And I'm unmuted, right? Someone give me a thumbs up that I'm unmuted so I know that I'm not talking into the void. We're good, Sam? Oh, there's the thumbs up. It's perfect. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Inside Atomic Modular Systems, or IAMS, as I call it. We're going to get going. It's about 2 minutes past the hour and do our best to respect your time and get moving here. My buddy Sam Bratt, who's based in our Las Vegas office, who did one of these IAMs a couple months ago, is handling the Q&A. So the Q&A should be open now. You can drop your questions in there. And yeah, we're going to get started. Basically, what we're doing today, we call it the power of possibility. It's one of those things where we realize a lot of product get out to a lot of people, but some people come to me saying, what else can it do? Can it do this? We're going to cover a few things what our standard stuff, what else it can do. So those of you that are familiar with modular systems, our mantra is it packs small and it plays big. Our panels are 22.5 inches square, our super lever panels. That dimension is going to come up a few times in this. They pack into boxes. If you're just hanging it, we can put it in an overnight box and get it to you pretty quickly. The connectors are super easy to use. That's our whole thing. Pack small, play big. Quick rundown. Our connectors, you see them here. It's just that swell latch. Here's one with 4 levers in a corner. So if it's corner and 4 levers, that's a C4. Here's a corner connector with 3 levers. That's a C3. Here's an example of our panels. You can hang them. There's also the floor standing option, columns, and wall. I mean, it actually is pretty simple. You know, here's a super lever drop. They work in tandem with each other, so you can mix and match all of our super lever panels. Here's an example of our triads backed with our frosties. The frosty is essentially a diffusion panel with our pyramids. Simple, easy backdrop. It's nice, right? You think, well, what else could it do? Well, you can hang it at a 45-degree angle. These are going to come up in a little bit up here. That's what's going to help us do this 45-degree drop. Those are super shape risers. They're a triangle shape. There's actually 5 swell latch connectors up there, right? So it's a C4 to connect them up there, and then you can tie them off to the truss. And because they're at an angle, you can hang at 45 degrees. It's a cool way to create an interesting proscenium. I'm not saying every stage needs a proscenium, but I mean, that's a great way to frame what you're doing. I happen to like this look personally. A lot of folks didn't know that it was an option. So there you go with super lever. 45-degree angle hanging. Now our floor standing super wall. Here's another perfect example of mixing and matching, right? There's the frosties. They're backing the fizz. It's uplit from internally. Now, you can see that you can sort of see the base there. The bases are 22.5 inches deep. And the wall itself, there's half panels that connect downstage to upstage. They're 11.25 inches deep. So that's how much play you have for your uplights to fit in there. But that's it. It's going 7 panels tall. That's another note. 7 panels. It's about 13 feet 2 inches tall, I think. 13 feet 1.5 inches tall. As you start to build them taller than that, the bottoms will start to give under the weight. So really 7 panels tall is what you want to max out at if you're floor standing. We'll cover that, a solution to that coming up. But if you're going 8 panels high, it's 15 feet. Chances are you have something to hang from at that point. But this is a basic super wall. Like I said, what else could you do with this, right? Well, you could do a staggered super wall. This is a cool look. It's a different look. You have to tell us ahead of time for doing it because in the corners here are corner connectors. There's 5 levers, right? 3 on the downstage and then 2 internal that'll make that turn. This wall would have 13 C5L on one side and C5R on the other. That's left and right. The reason we need to tell us ahead of time is because we need to make sure we pack enough for you. And it's up to you which side is left and which side is right, just as long as it stays the same. So the C5L, let's say you decide this side is left, just C5L all the way up that side, C5R all of the other side. It's a really cool and unique way to use a super wall, I think. And I don't know if you have a client that says, our look is the Italian flag in the Matrix. Well, then here I have something for your pitch deck. So there you go. something that comes up a lot. This might generate a little bit of Q&A. By all means, throw the questions to Sam. Sam, you have carte blanche to go ahead and interrupt me if a question comes up. We don't have true screen surrounds, but we have solutions for screen surrounds. One of my favorites is a hanging surround, which basically drops stage left, stage right, and then, stage left and stage right. And across the top, if you can, for balance. This particular setup, this is a front screen projection, so they're hanging it from the downstage pipe, and our panels from the upstage pipe. But if you're doing rear, it's a different story. But it's the bottom. You can't just hang this with a hole in the middle because the bottom would be unsupported. It needs something rigid. Otherwise, they'll fall forward or they'll fall backward. And that'll pinch in the bottoms too, so you got to be careful with that. One of my favorite solutions is to use a wall to fill in that bottom. This is a super wall down here. It actually is coming out a little bit further. It's a little bit in front of the drop. It's basically closer to the screen than it is to the hanging panels, but it's a good solution. It's a rigid solution to do a surround. In a minute, we're going to go to super columns. There's a super column solution I'm going to show you too that I happen to like. It's because it's a little more flexible. But that's our solution for screen surrounds. So I brought up columns. This is our standard super column. And this is one of my favorite photos of a column because it shows you how it works. Our triads are an open panel so you can see inside. They're on the downstage side. It's turned in a diamond shape. You can do whatever you want. And those are our standard plain gray propane panel. We call them propane 6 and propane 3. They're 6 millimeter or 3 millimeter thick on the upstage side. It's just lit with orange and yellow. There's no lid on top, but you can put a lid on there if you want to. If you put an uplight in there and shine it up into it'll reflect back down rather than shooting onto your ceiling. Standard super column. I happen to like it. I think they're super versatile. It's another situation where you wouldn't go more than 7 panels tall. And the next slide, you're going to see a show that used 9 and 8 panels tall, and I'm going to tell you how they succeeded. This is a great way to do a faux screen surround. It's not totally true to a screen surround, but it does the job. Branding underneath, it's staggered heights. Here's 7 panels tall over here, no problem. But 8 and 9 panels tall, you would start to see some give down here. But what they did was remove the upstage back panel and run a safety line, like the aircraft line, through the connectors and up to the truss. So it's just enough weight coming off the base to sort of hold it up. Also at that height, 8 panels is 15 feet. Your height to base ratio is pretty skewed. So especially if you have movement, there's going to be movement. Montel Jordan's a musical performer. You really want to be careful with that. Sandbags are obviously important, and you would need them in all of these. Plus, the higher ones, you definitely want to tether to the top. I think it's great going back to screen surround. It's a great way to, do a faux screen surround, frame everything really nicely. Another option with the super columns, what else do they do? You don't have to actually use them as a column. You can actually do super cubes as a ground row as well. A show like this, for example, this is the welcome reception. People come in to the first presentation, then they go out to the breakouts. One of these columns is 7 panels tall. The Frosties are a little over 2 pounds. And then the roundabouts, which are we'll cover fast wall. They're a fast wall panel. They're a little under 2 pounds. So one of these at 7 panels tall, you're probably talking 75 pounds ultimately to pick it up. 2 people can move that easily. One person maybe pushing it. But you can have this set up as this is the opening keynote. And then at lunch, you want to change the look. A couple people can pick up some columns, move them around the room, change the shape of it, make a cascade on either side. It gives you a way to change the look, gives you a bit of a framing of the screen, and it's not that difficult to change. But also columns. This is something I bet there's a lot of folks on this call right now that know our product really well. And I'm willing to bet not all of you know about this next product because I don't see it go out that much, and I like it. This is our hex super column. It's 6-sided, right? So you're not just talking 20. Now, each panel is still 22.5 inches, but your diameter in there, that's from point to point, right? Because it's a hexagonal circle. From point to point, that's 45 inches. But from flat side to flat side, the diameter is it's just under 39 inches. I think it's 38.975. But you know, it's big enough where if you're in a space with unsightly columns, and I realize now that this photo actually has sightly columns. So they're, but if you're in a convention hall and like it's an unsightly column, you want to put some, you can stand one of these around. You don't totally need the bases if you're only going 4 or 5 panels. I'd like it if you use the bases and it's not surrounding a column, but it's a great way to surround a column with branding, put an uplight in there, put some frosties behind this, and it changes the look. And that, you know, what is this, 5 panels tall? That's 9.5 feet. You have plenty of headroom for Instagram photos, and I mean, if you're doing iMag around the room, it's plenty of headroom. That, you know, so you don't have to go the whole length of, you know, 15 feet high. Just go nuts. It's a great look. And here's another column. I don't know how many of you know that they can do this, but we can also stagger our super columns. We have what I call, I don't think this is the actual term, but I call them stagger gaskets. Basically, between each level is 2 gaskets that create a square. Well, it's essentially 2 diamonds. So this level here, these panels are connected to the gasket there from the bottom, and this one is connected to the gasket from the top. So there's one continuous piece going through there to give you an offset look on the super column. I realized a lot of people didn't. I had one colleague who didn't know that these existed, and I thought that's a red flag if they don't know this. So I want to make sure people know that this is an option, especially if like someone out there has a Lego show coming up or something like that where you want to do like primary colors and building blocks. This is a cool effect to do. So I want you to know that that's out there too. So with the columns, we can go across the ground rows. You can do standing, right? There's all kinds of options there. But to go across the top, which falls into our super shape category, you can also build a floor standing arch. Be a little wary about what you want to do with I wouldn't go too tall, like at 4 panels high. That's, you know, it's about 7.5 feet right there. Even if you're doing like an NBA show where like the average player in the NBA is what, like 6'9" or something. They don't have to duck their head. Some will, but for the most part, most attendees don't need to duck their head at 7.5 feet. It's totally safe. And then 3 panels wide is what I'm comfortable with. You can go 4, but you just got to be careful with supports and all that other stuff. 3 panels wide is more than ADA compliant. I think ADA compliance is like 36 inches. So you're way more compliant. You're looking to move people if you're trying to get them in one direction. It's a great way of framing device, I think. But also, if you're looking to get people to go a certain direction and you really want to shout it at them without shouting at them, you can always use super lever or super shape arrows. So like this is like go that way with an exclamation point. But this is here because now again we're seeing again our super shape risers. We used those earlier. We showed you hanging. This is them in a floor supported manner. These will handle the super shape arrows. There's also back there, you can sort of see one of our super shape crisscross. My colleague Brian did a presentation on shapes and such. So there's options there. These super shape risers are going to allow you to do that. It's just a great look. Some of you probably do know about it, but I want to get it out there that's definitely another option. We saw the usefulness of these in one way, and now you can see the other. Part of the super lever family, we've seen earlier with the roundabouts, is our fast wall. Again, these are 22.5 inches square, but they actually, right back there, that's actually 16 inches across because they interlock. Makes them super rigid, makes them nice and strong. I still would, if you're going to go more than 7 panels tall, let me know. We'll do a test build just to be on the safe side to see if you're going 8 panels tall. But these are much more rigid than our super walls. The downside is they're all open. You can see behind them. So behind our our friends, the Goo Dolls here. There's a black drape behind that not fast wall. But it's, like I said, super rigid. It gives it good dimensions, easy to light. But what else can a fast wall do? You're going to love this. It staggers as well. Oh my gosh. You don't need to tell me ahead of time. If you can change your mind on staggering, just make sure we have enough hardware if you have an idea of what you're doing. But basically, you can change your mind if there's one. You're like, let's remove that one up there and bring it to a higher point. You just remove them. But what fast wall can do is hold a little bit of weight. So on this particular fast wall, there's propane, our good old-fashioned propane 6s, holding up. These are the I forget the name of these, Chauvet like performance sticks or something. Each one of those is like 3.5 pounds. So there's not more than, there's about 3 pounds on each one of these. If you're near the center, that's where it's strongest, and then the corners are holding some of the weight. If you're going to push something out here to the edge, we would want to test build that. But if you're doing like fake plants or something like that for an event, and there's like no soil in it, chances are, just let us know what you think the weight is. We'll do a test build, but usually those are under 5 pounds. If you're using real plants with real soil, please let me know what the weight is, because that's a different animal entirely. But if you're doing like a sport event with like a football helmet or a mitt, that's a good way to sort of get some props out there. And I don't think everyone knew that that's a possibility with these, that you can do that. I happen to really like that personally. This look I happen to really like, the staggered chads hanging and then the staggered fast wall going up. That's a nice look. But what else can a fast wall do? You can brand it. You can actually we have a way of hanging custom panels on it. So Lancaster Pride here had their logo and, well, their logos on a fast offset here on the fast wall. And then this is a great example of the staggered fast wall. So you can see through it, right? It's like this is just dividing a little bit of space. So you can see the merch table back there. But it's another great option, especially if you're just branding, like if you're in a convention space like this, if you have, people walking around in whatever booths and stuff, this is a great way to get some, marketing out there. So that was our super lever family. Sam, stop me if there were any questions related, because we're going to move on to our super zipper next. Otherwise, I'm going straight through. But that was our super lever family, and a few things, other things that they do that you might not have known they could do. So our super zipper drapes. I like them, and I hope you do too. They're all pretty easy to use. They're 5 feet wide. They're 30 feet tall. You can zip them together. So right over here, these would be 3 individual 5 by 30 panels. And here, zip them together, you got a 10 by 30. It's a nice look. I think they look pretty good. This is our Cirrus. Again, here's a couple of, there's 5 of them. 5 feet wide, 30 feet tall. Well, what else can a super zipper do? Well, you can mix and match. So right here, it's like you want to go 35 feet wide, 30 feet tall. Go for it. Mix the laser with the buell. It's a nice look. It's something else that they do. Like I said, it's something unique and different. And you don't have to fold this either. Like any of our super zipper, just shove them in the bag and back into the boxes or cases. It's not like velour drape that you have to like spend some time folding. But what else could a super zipper do? This is the best part. You can hang them sideways. So here's our stacks. This 5 feet tall and 30 feet wide now. So let's say you're only going 10 high and 30 wide. You're renting two stacks straight. That's it. And you just got to let us know ahead of time, because what we'll do is we'll zip on the one side, because we don't have pockets. None of these are pockets. These are all tie. Every single one of these you have to tie off to the pipe. But we'll zip on the connector, so you just tie them up to your truss or your pipe or whatever. It's super easy. Just let us know ahead of time. That's what you're going to do. We'll get it out to you. That's going to cover our super zipper. So again, Sam, if there was something, feel free to stop me. I don't mind. But that was super zipper. Now here's our super flats. I think some of you know the super flats. I like it. It's a cool product. These are wood flats. This is really more of a pack flat in Play Big, not so much pack small, because they're 45 inches wide, 90 inches tall, unless you're, and then 4 inches deep, wood flats. So you can't really fold them up any smaller. And on the front of this one this is a really good example of one, because you can see the seams in some of the spots. And I think that's important for managing expectations here. basically the frames are wood, and then we print onto our PVC. We print onto PVC. We glue pegs onto the PVC, and we stick the pegs into the frame, and then we ship it to you. But there are going to be seams, and depending on the color and design, in some spots you really aren't going to see it, and in some spots you might. It's interesting to make sure that you're aware of that. I happen to like them still. The kicks, each one of these has a leg on the back, like kickstand, basically, that sticks out another. Basically, the depth is 27 inches. The flat is 4 inches deep, and then the kickstands are 23 inches. With 100 pounds worth of sand on the back there, two 50-pound sandbags, it's not going anywhere. And the kickstand goes about 75% of the way up. But I happen to like its cool look, and you think, oh, that's great, but what else could a flat do? Well, you can use it as a kiosk. So just let us know, if you're hanging a monitor in there. Yeah, I guess at this point, like mounting, like TV mounts are not totally universal. But our mounts on the back have worked with most, somewhere between 26-inch and 55-inch monitors. So if you're looking to build a kiosk, if you're looking to integrate the TV, this is a great way to go. It's a good option. Then plus our super panels, like these are basically super columns with countertops, or super walls with countertops. It's a great option. Super flat definitely helps you out with that. I don't know, maybe some of you knew that, but I want to make sure you were aware of it. And that's super flats. One other thing about super flats, you can also go another half flat tall, another 45 inches. So 90, you can go up to 6 panels tall, which is what, 11 feet 7 inches, 11 feet 3 inches. You can't go any taller than that. But it's, if you're trying to cut off space, it's what it does. Now finally, specialty accents. We covered our 22.5-inch square panels, our flats that are 45 by 90, and our super zippers that are 5 feet by 30. We do have round things. we've got poppies. They're round. These are connected to our Polestar. You can do a floor standing one. It's a easy thing to do. These light pretty well. I'll tell you that there's a bit of a turn as you add poppy to poppy to poppy. It's not more than like a 5-degree change. Like this side is a little bit further upstage, but interesting way to add a little circular option to your show. But what else could a poppy do? Well, we can send it with 2-inch half burrows, and you can stick them anywhere. You can clamp them onto anything. Here's a plain white one here. You can light it, go nuts, even whatever. If you want to do branding, knock yourself out. We have branding options. You got to plan ahead, but we can print onto them. But if you have like just truss uprights that are around the space with, you want to put some decor on them, just clamp a poppy on there, hit it with a little bit of light, and suddenly you've got a nice little accent to something that otherwise was, just a pipe. So a nice little idea. I'll put that idea out there. But
hey, Gary, just to jump in here real quick,
yeah.
We do have a question. This is related to the kiosk.
Do it.
We have a question about the orange and white in the dash panels there, where someone's asking how we managed to pull that off.
Yeah, I think these are dash on the front and then printed panels behind them. So it's got a white and gray and orange stripe behind it. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone on the Atomic team, but I believe that's how we achieved that look. It's kind of, honestly, if you want to do any custom panels, like even before with the staggered or offset columns, you put like a dash in front of, primary colored blue or yellow, that's going to come through. It's pretty simple to do. But that's my understanding. That's, I believe, how we did that. I've seen it done like that in the past. So I'm assuming this is the way they did it. I actually didn't have my hands on this particular kiosk, but I've seen that particular setup. So it's just 2 panels. There's just 2 panels there. We covered poppies. They were great. What it comes down to ultimately is if you give us enough time to test what we can do, and if you have a vision, give us your idea. We always joke about the bar napkin. Do that. We have a design team. There's a talk coming up about design capabilities. But if you have an idea, if you think the staggered wall or an archway or a fast wall or custom branding will work, we can make it happen. This is pretty much everything we covered in some way or another. This is a jolt fast wall. It's staggered. It's an archway. It turns a corner, and it's got branding on it. So this was a few months in the making as far as planning, as far as testing, and as far as because you got to make sure that this people are walking under that. You got to make sure how much sand do we need to put? Is it 100 pounds on each side plus another 50 in the middle? But we can do it. We can do the large scale stuff. This still packs down into a couple of road cases. Give us a little bit of a heads up. We'll go for it. We'll try it. We'll test it, and we'll let you know how it works. That's pretty much everything I had planned today for what else our standard stuff can do. So this is your moment. Does anyone have any questions about any of the stuff we covered today? Obviously, you can always reach out to us. Go to our website. And I think my email address is on there. So go ahead and hit me up. If you have questions about what we can do, go ahead.
Hey, Gary, we do have a personal question for you. Do you have a favorite light to stick inside the columns or shapes?
I don't have, when it comes to like brands, I'm not biased on brands. I happen to like, for the most part, I'll tell you that the wireless ones, the battery is just heavy enough where you probably don't even need to put sand in there. I happen to like those personally. If you have a particular brand you like, I'm sure there's a wireless one in there, but that's what I used to do. Before I worked for Atomic, Atomic was my vendor. That's how I used to put those. I forget what they were called now, but we used to put the battery powered ones in there, and the weight was perfect. So it's my personal preference.
We have another question here, Gary. Since rigging costs have gone up every year, what other options can you suggest for hanging panels besides truss-on points?
Well, it depends on how high you're going. If you're no longer rigging, chances are you're probably doing something with pipe and base. Maybe you're doing, we can do S-hooks on most of our super lever panels. We have a S-hook that's strong enough to hold it up to about 7 panels, 8 panels high. The weight is fine. So that would be an option for if you can't hang from the ceiling. Otherwise, you got to go the floor standing route. I don't want you going any higher than 7 panels tall. That's the only thing, because of the weight and because of what they can withstand at the bottom, especially if people are, God forbid you guys, everyone on this probably knows how hotel risers or conference center risers can move with people walking on them. So 7 panels will be your max. But we do have S-hooks that can hang from, if you're doing pipe and drape, we can do that. Our panels, I tell everyone to estimate 2 pounds per panel. The Frosties are about 2.2, and the rest of them are probably about 1.78. 1.8, but that would be what I would do. My dog just barked. I don't know if you heard that. She agreed. Anything else, Sammy? Otherwise, I'm going to show them what's coming up next.
I'm not seeing anything else, Gary. You've done a fantastic job covering everything.
Thank you. Well, I talked about what we can do, right? I talked about the napkin thing. Well, next month, my buddy Ivan, he's out in our Las Vegas warehouse. Ivan's going to talk about design capabilities. When you come to us with your own drawing or your own dream or your client's dream, there are options. There's options for getting a diagram together. There's options for speccing it out, just like that the United Airlines one, right? Ivan will cover you. I'll be on that one too. It's gonna be great. Got to be honest with you. All of these things, when they start working together, they come with something you could probably come with something really cool and something really fun. So look forward to that. You'll definitely want to subscribe to our email list, because I think we have yet another new panel shape coming up in a couple of weeks. We always have something new coming through. There's always something. So sign up for that. See what our newest shapes are. See what our newest ideas are. Sign up for our email list there. And yeah, I think it's worth your time to see what else is out there. And then when one of those emails comes through that says, check out our new thing, and you want to know what else it can do, well, Sam, me, Ivan, we're all out there ready to help you out. So if you haven't done that, the QR code's going away, but you can always go to our website. So we're always around. But thank you, everyone, for joining. And yeah, really appreciate your time today.
Hey,
thank you. Oh, go
Gary, right at the end here, I have one last question. Do we have the ballpark price for the United building excluding shipping?
I'd have to, because there's so many parts in that, right? There was more to it than just this particular. There's actually a whole nother. This is like half of it, but I'm, yeah, I can't ballpark it. I think ultimately you're probably talking in it's a couple grand. Yeah. You know what? My email address is gary.glass@atomicdesign.tv. Hit me up and I'll try and spec that out for you. But Sam, do you have an idea what that could have been? I'm looking at all the panels. Yeah.
No, I'd have to look it up as well, but
yeah. So just I'll whoever just asked that, hit me up and I'll get it back to you probably by the end of the day today, at least a ballpark.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna leave it on Ivan because he's just wonderful and he's got a great attitude. But I think that's it. Thank you again, everybody. Sam, I think you've got the control there to end it. I don't, but thank you, everybody.